The chief suppressed a gesture of annoyance, strode across the room and, leaning on his stick, sat down angrily, as though he had decided not to speak. Then, suddenly making up his mind: "Monsieur le Président, the first person who enters this room will be the man whose arrest you asked for. Against my wish, as I insist on pointing out to you. 15 seconds, Lenormand. Gourel, Dieuzy, the first person, do you understand? Mr. Attorney, have you signed the warrant? 10 seconds, Lenormand. Monsieur le Président, would you be so good as to ring the bell?" Valenglay rang. The messenger appeared in the doorway and waited. Valenglay turned to the chief: "Well, Lenormand, he's waiting for your orders. Whom is he to show in?" "No one." "But the rogue whose arrest you promised us? The 6 minutes are more than past." "Yes, but the rogue is here." "Here? I don't understand. No one has entered the room." "I beg your pardon." "Oh, I say! Look here, Lenormand, you're making fun of us. I tell you again that no one has entered the room." "There were 6 of us in this room, Monsieur le Président. There are 7 now. Consequently, some one has entered the room." Valenglay started. "Eh? But this is madness! What? You mean to say ..." The 2 detectives had slipped between the messenger and the door. M. Lenormand walked up to the messenger, clapped his hand on his shoulder and, in a loud voice: "In the name of the law, Auguste Maximin Philippe Daileron, chief messenger at the Ministry of the Interior, I arrest you." Valenglay burst out laughing: "What a joke! What a joke! That infernal Lenormand! Of all the first-rate notions! Well done, Lenormand! It's long since I enjoyed so good a laugh." M. Lenormand turned to the attorney general: "Mr. Attorney, you won't forget to fill in Master Daileron's profession on the warrant, will you? Chief messenger at the Ministry of the Interior." "Oh, good! Oh, capital! Chief messenger at the Ministry of the Interior!" spluttered Valenglay, holding his sides. "Oh, this wonderful Lenormand gets hold of ideas that would never occur to anybody else! The public is clamoring for an arrest. Whoosh! He flings at its head my chief messenger, Auguste, the model servant! Well, Lenormand, my dear fellow, I knew you had a certain gift of imagination, but I never suspected that it would go so far as this. The impertinence of it!" From the commencement of this scene, Auguste had not stirred a limb and seemed to understand nothing of what was going on around him. His face, the typical face of a good, loyal, faithful serving man, seemed absolutely bewildered. He looked at the gentlemen turn and turn about, with a visible effort to catch the meaning of their words. M. Lenormand said a few words to Gourel, who went out. Then, going up to Auguste and speaking with great decision, he said: "There's no way out of it. You're caught. The best thing to do, when the game is lost, is to throw down your cards. What were you doing on Tuesday?" "I? Nothing. I was here." "You lie. You were off duty. You went out for the day." "Oh, yes, I remember. I had a friend to see me from the country. We went for a walk in the Bois." "Your friend's name was Marco. And you went for a walk in the cellars of the Crédit Lyonnais." "I? What an idea! Marco! I don't know any one by that name. And these, do you know these?" cried the chief, thrusting a pair of gold-rimmed spectacles under his nose. "No, certainly not. I don't wear spectacles." "Yes, you do. You wear them when you go to the Crédit Lyonnais and when you pass yourself off as Mr. Kesselbach. These come from your room, the room which you occupy, under the name of M. Jérôme, at No. 50 Rue du Colisée." "My room? My room? I sleep here, at the office." "But you change your clothes, over there, to play your parts in Lupin's gang." A blow in the chest made him stagger back. Auguste reached the window at a bound, climbed over the balcony and jumped into the courtyard. "Dash it all!" shouted Valenglay. "The scoundrel!" He rang the bell, ran to the window, wanted to call out. M. Lenormand, with the greatest calm, said: "Don't excite yourself, Monsieur le Président." "But that blackguard of an Auguste ..." "1 second, please. I foresaw this ending. In fact, I allowed for it. It's the best confession we could have." Yielding in the presence of this coolness, Valenglay resumed his seat. In a moment, Gourel entered, with his hand on the collar of Master Auguste Maximin Philippe Daileron, alias Jérôme, chief messenger at the Ministry of the Interior. "Bring him, Gourel," said M. Lenormand, as who should say, "Fetch it, bring it," to a good retriever carrying the game in its jaws. "Did he come quietly?" "He bit me a little, but I held tight," replied the sergeant, showing his huge, sinewy hand. "Very well, Gourel. And now take this chap off to the Dépôt in a cab. Good bye for the present, M. Jérôme." Valenglay was immensely amused. He rubbed his hands and laughed. The idea that his chief messenger was one of Lupin's accomplices struck him as the most delightfully ludicrous thing. "Well done, my dear Lenormand! This is wonderful! But how on earth did you manage it?" "Oh, in the simplest possible fashion. I knew that Mr. Kesselbach was employing the Barbareux agency and that Lupin had called on him, pretending to come from the agency. I hunted in that direction and discovered that, when the indiscretion was committed to the prejudice of Mr. Kesselbach and of Barbareux, it could only have been to the advantage of one Jérôme, a friend of one of the clerks at the agency. If you had not ordered me to hustle things, I should have watched the messenger and caught Marco and then Lupin. You'll catch them, Lenormand, you'll catch them, I assure you. And we shall be assisting at the most exciting spectacle in the world, the struggle between Lupin and yourself. I shall bet on you." The next morning, the newspapers published the following letter: "Open letter to M. Lenormand, Chief of the Detective Service. "All my congratulations, dear sir and dear friend, on your arrest of Jérôme the messenger. It was a smart piece of work, well executed and worthy of you. All my compliments also on the ingenious manner in which you proved to the Prime Minister that I was not Mr. Kesselbach's murderer. Your demonstration was clear, logical, irrefutable and, what is more, truthful. As you know, I do not kill people. Thank you for proving it on this occasion. The esteem of my contemporaries and of yourself, dear sir and dear friend, are indispensable to my happiness. In return, allow me to assist you in the pursuit of the monstrous assassin and to give you a hand with the Kesselbach case, a very interesting case, believe me, so interesting and so worthy of my attention that I have determined to issue from the retirement in which I have been living for the past 4 years, between my books and my good dog Sherlock, to beat all my comrades to arms and to throw myself once more into the fray. What unexpected turns life sometimes takes! Here am I, your fellow worker! Let me assure you, dear sir and dear friend, that I congratulate myself upon it and that I appreciate this favour of destiny at its true value. Arsène Lupin. P.S. One word more, of which I feel sure that you will approve. As it is not right and proper that a gentleman who has had the glorious privilege of fighting under my banner should languish on the straw of your prisons, I feel it my duty to give you fair warning that in 5 weeks' time, on Friday the 31st of May, I shall set at liberty Master Jérôme, promoted by me to the rank of chief messenger at the Ministry of the Interior. Don't forget the date: Friday the 31st of May. A.L. End of chapter 3.